In the year 2026, as the economy became increasingly oppressive for everyone, the government of California introduced a shocking new lottery regulation. Under this rule, losing participants could still have a chance to claim victory by killing the lottery winner before sunset, though firearms were strictly prohibited. 4 years later, in 2030, after the unique rule had been in effect for some time, a man named John won the lottery jackpot. As a result, he became the target of the losing participants. John fought off several attackers and managed to escape, eventually seeking refuge in a house occupied only by an elderly woman and her grandchild. Planning to stay hidden there until sunset, John destroyed the woman's phone to prevent her from revealing his location while drones searched for him. However, as John grappled with his circumstances, the elderly woman offered him medicine, only to betray him. She killed him using a blunt firearm-like device that ejected a 5-centimeter-long metal rod. After breaking John's lottery ticket in half, the lottery officials arrived with high-security equipment to confirm her victory. In a live television broadcast, the host officially presented the jackpot prize of $20 million, signaling the end of this lottery round. A few weeks later, as a new lottery round approached, we are introduced to Katie, a young woman who had recently arrived in California for a film casting audition. Sitting on a bus, she clutched a small Oscar trophy, hoping her dreams of a Hollywood career might improve her financial situation. When a child on the bus tried to joke with her, Katie responded playfully, only to witness the child's father scolding him. Upset by the scene, Katie pretended to be a police officer, threatening to report the man to social services if he didn't treat his child better. After the man apologized to his daughter, an elderly woman on the bus thanked Katie for her actions by touching her hand. However, after the woman got off the bus, Katie realized her watch had been stolen, leaving her increasingly distrustful of people in the city. Katie's anxiety heightened as she witnessed crimes like theft and extortion happening around her during the journey. She later noticed an advertisement for a private security company offering high-level protection services for lottery winners. Meanwhile, the media buzzed with discussions about the upcoming lottery drawing, scheduled to take place in 18 hours. The jackpot for this round was a staggering $36 million, the largest ever. On the other side of town, a man named Noel was preparing his unique pistol while singing the Ninja Turtles theme song. Meanwhile, Katie arrived at a cheap lodging she had booked online from a girl named Shadi. However, the actual condition of the room turned out to be filthy, far different from the pictures advertised. Reluctantly, Katie decided to stay. Later that day, Shadi's boyfriend arrived and slapped Katie upon seeing her bag labeled "Fighting School." In the evening, Noel's ad appeared on television, offering his services as a bodyguard for lottery winners who needed protection. The next morning, Katie was rudely awakened when the upstairs toilet leaked onto her face and clothes. She confronted Shadi, explaining that the clothes were for her casting later that day. Shadi, however, brushed it off and instead offered to rent her some clothes. With no other option, Katie rented an outfit, though it was bizarrely styled and garishly colored. On her way to the casting in a taxi, the female driver mocked Katie's strange outfit and chatted incessantly despite Katie's urgency. During the conversation, Katie learned that a local rapper named Kelly had a bunker in his mansion. When Katie finally arrived at the casting, the organizers demanded a registration fee. During the audition, she explained that she had appeared in several commercials as a child, but had to put her career on hold to care for her sick mother. After her mother's passing, Katie decided to revive her acting ambitions and participate in this casting. As she reached into her pocket to retrieve her notes, she accidentally activated a lottery ticket belonging to Shadi by scanning her fingerprint. Her name and photo were instantly registered in the lottery system. Shocked but unable to back out, Katie proceeded with her audition, only to be disqualified by the judges. Feeling dejected, she was approached outside by another contestant who comforted her, only for Katie to realize the woman was just practicing her acting. Suddenly, all lottery tickets in the vicinity beeped, announcing Katie as the jackpot winner of this period. Everyone familiar with the brutal lottery rules immediately attempted to kill Katie. Some used nearby objects, while others had prepared knives in advance to seize the jackpot prize. Confused by the sudden violence, Katie fought back as best as she could, opting more often to flee rather than confront the attackers. After narrowly escaping the chaos, Katie unknowingly entered a martial arts school where everyone was already aware of the lottery results. Fortunately, as the martial artists began fighting each other to claim the prize, Katie managed to dodge their attacks. However, she was eventually cornered, spun around several times, and thrown into a wall, breaking through into a women's yoga class. Hoping the yoga practitioners might help her, Katie was instead met with another group of people eager to claim the lottery prize. Once again, chaos erupted. As Katie began to lose oxygen and her strength faltered, Noel unexpectedly appeared, breaking through the roof. He quickly intervened, pushing one of Katie's attackers so forcefully that the man smashed through a wall. Noel then offered Katie 5 free protections, after which Katie reluctantly agreed to use his bodyguard services, agreeing to pay him 10% of the total lottery prize. After being rescued from 5 different attackers, Katie felt forced to sign the 10% agreement, even though she still insisted she had never entered any lottery. Once the deal was sealed, Noel immediately began defending Katie from all attacks, even using her as a weapon at times. After taking down the attackers, Katie managed to grab Noel's unique pistol, and he explained that it wasn't a firearm but instead shot wasp venom that caused temporary paralysis. Despite this, Noel quickly took the pistol back and ensured all the unconscious attackers were positioned safely to prevent any fatalities. Noel then informed Katie that drones from the lottery organizers were outside and would broadcast the winner's location to all lottery participants every 14 minutes. Exiting through the back door, Noel explained that participants were not allowed to attack one another, only the winner was a valid target. Just as Katie was about to get into Noel's car, someone threw a meat cleaver at her, narrowly missing. Soon she was being chased by participants from various professions. As the drones updated Katie's location via the lottery tickets, more people joined the hunt, including an ice cream vendor who abandoned his customers, and even the elderly woman Katie had met on the bus the previous day. While Noel explained why everyone was after her, Katie remained confused, as she didn't recall ever buying a lottery ticket, let alone knowing anything about the rules or prize. During their escape, they were pursued by motorcyclists, prompting Noel to give Katie a helmet, which he also put on himself. Suddenly, a Molotov cocktail hit their car, setting the roof on fire. Noel managed to extinguish it by entering a warehouse, tricking one of the motorcyclists, though others quickly arrived and threw another Molotov. Katie, holding the lottery ticket, tried to resign as the winner, but Noel explained that the only way to void the win was to leave the city entirely. Noel then used his unique pistol and performed a spinning drift in the car, creating thick smoke to evade the attackers. He pushed the car forward to make it appear abandoned, luring the motorcyclists into throwing a Molotov at an empty vehicle, only to realize too late that Noel and Katie had already disappeared. While hiding in the warehouse, Katie reiterated her desire to cancel the win, forcing Noel to agree reluctantly. However, before they could plan their next move, the motorcyclists found their car, prompting another chase. A woman leapt onto the back of the car and attempted to kill Katie, but Katie managed to disarm her. Noel, trying to fire his unique pistol, was bitten by the woman, forcing him to fend her off with a side mirror and ordering Katie to take the wheel, even though she didn't know how to drive. With Noel now in the back seat, he struggled to deal with the agile woman. He eventually put a helmet on her and kicked her out of the car. Another enraged motorcyclist behind them threw yet another Molotov, forcing Noel to instruct Katie to crash through a wall. The unexpected maneuver sent one motorcycle flying into the air, and Katie used her helmet to fend off a motorcyclist who had managed to get close to the car. A few meters away from the chase, their car broke down, forcing Noel to direct Katie to hide in an alley. However, Katie immediately ran off, prompting Noel to stop her. Despite knowing that Katie wouldn't get any money since she wanted to forfeit the lottery prize, Noel surprisingly offered to continue protecting her, on the condition that she didn't look down on him. Katie, still wary, punched him hard enough to break his nose, which he reset himself without hesitation. Unexpectedly, a police car appeared and Katie approached it, hoping for help. However, the two officers inside turned out to be after the prize too and attempted to kill her. Noel quickly intercepted the taser aimed at Katie and fought off the officers while Katie decided to run away from everyone. Moments later, she hid her face with a brochure while walking along the roadside, but people nearby began noticing the drone overhead and realizing her updated location. Before anyone could start chasing her, Katie slipped into a wax museum. The museum's guard, who was against the brutal lottery rules, allowed Katie to hide inside. While hiding, she received a call from Shadi, who offered her a car to escape the city. However, as Shadi kept probing her exact location, Katie grew suspicious and realized that Shadi only wanted to kill her for the lottery prize. Unfortunately, during their conversation, a noise from one of the wax statues gave away Katie's location, and Shadi, along with her boyfriend, headed there immediately. Though the guard tried to block their entry by claiming the museum was closed, Shadi knocked him out with a kick. Katie's attempt to stay hidden among the wax figures initially seemed successful, but the museum's automated door chime suddenly sounded, revealing her presence. She fought off Shadi and her boyfriend using bottles, sand, and a stick from one of the statues. When she tried to escape, Shadi kicked her in the back, causing Katie to drop her stick. In the next room, a themed mafia exhibit, Katie was cornered and attacked relentlessly by the two. She retaliated using one of the statues, turning the room into an all-out brawl. The fight escalated, with everyone using props from the exhibit to attack each other. Katie was eventually wounded when a small axe was thrown at her shoulder. In desperation, she sealed the room to trap Shadi and her boyfriend inside. Just as Katie thought she had escaped, a tour guide recognized her and used the museum's PA system to alert all visitors, urging them to attack the lottery winner. Before they could reach her, Noel reappeared, driving a stolen police car, and whisked her away. As they drove away, dodging the chaos, Katie accused Noel of planning to kill her too for the prize money. Before Noel could respond to the accusation, the tour bus from earlier caught up with them and attempted to ram their car. During the commotion, Noel mentioned his dream of building a proper bunker to improve his protection services for clients. Hearing the word bunker, Katie suddenly remembered her earlier conversation with the taxi driver about a local rapper named Kelly, who had a bunker in his mansion. Upon arriving at the luxurious mansion of the rapper, Kelly, he appeared confused by Katie and Noel's unexpected arrival. As the tour bus closed in, Katie immediately pointed Noel's unique pistol at Kelly and demanded he open his bunker. Once inside the lavish bunker, Katie shot Kelly with the unique pistol to paralyze him temporarily and close the door, ensuring he couldn't reveal the bunker's code to anyone else. As a crowd began to gather outside and tried to break in, Noel aimed his unique pistol at Katie's face, alarming her. Acting swiftly, Katie snatched the weapon and used it to immobilize the people pushing against the bunker door. With the door finally sealed, they watched through the CCTV cameras as the crowd scrambled to find ways to breach the bunker. Meanwhile, Katie remained on edge, pointing the pistol at Noel, suspicious of his earlier actions. To clarify, Noel explained that he had been aiming at the attackers outside the door, not at her. To gain her trust, he shared his backstory. While they talked, a small Oscar trophy fell from a shelf, prompting Katie to reveal its sentimental value. She explained that it was a gift from her late mother, who had inspired her to move to the city to reignite her childhood acting career, which had been interrupted when her father stole her savings. Noel empathized with her struggles and offered her words of encouragement, which softened Katie. She eventually returned the pistol and asked why Noel was so determined to help her cancel the lottery prize. Noel answered earnestly, saying his primary goal in creating his escort service was to save as many lives as possible. Their conversation was interrupted by the sight of people outside, attempting to break the door using various tools. They also noticed through the CCTV that Shadi had revived Kelly, attempting to extract the bunker code. To Katie and Noel's shock, Shadi pushed Kelly into the pool, and the unusual method worked, causing Kelly to reveal the 4-digit bunker code. Watching this unfold, Noel called another security company to request a cyber attack, and then locked both their phones in a safe. When the bunker door was finally breached, Katie and Noel tried their best to hold it shut. But suddenly, all the phones in the crowd began ringing incessantly. Without warning, the phones exploded, emitting sparks that quickly caused panic and minor fires. As the crowd screamed in terror, Katie and Noel took the opportunity to escape. Despite the chaos, Noel paused to help a man whose groin was severely burned before continuing on. Moments later, several cars arrived, belonging to the security company Noel had contacted. The guards, armed with rubber bullet weapons, secured the area but initially refused to let Noel join them. Katie protested, insisting that Noel, who had protected her from the beginning, should accompany her. During the ride, it was revealed that Noel had previously worked for the security company but resigned to start his own protection business. They eventually arrived at the company's high-security facility where Luis, the company's charismatic leader, warmly greeted Katie. However, Noel's demeanor turned cold and suspicious as Luis spoke. Luis provided Katie with a new phone to replace the one destroyed earlier and reassured her that the facility adhered to military-grade security standards. He even showed her a high-tech grenade stored in his jacket pocket to emphasize the safety measures in place. With 4 hours remaining until sunset, Luis introduced Katie to previous lottery winners who had used the company's services. However, their names and faces were withheld for privacy reasons. Despite the impressive demonstration of security, Noel's skeptical expression lingered as he observed Luis's interactions with Katie. Not long after, Luis explained the conditions for using his services. Katie would need to pay a 30% commission from the lottery winnings. However, Katie insisted that Noel should also receive a 50% share, deducted from Luis's portion. Unexpectedly, Luis agreed, leaving Noel stunned. After Katie signed the contract, they monitored the facility's security cameras, which showed lottery hunters attempting to breach the facility from all directions. Seeing this, Luis suggested Katie relocate to a different facility with an underground bunker. To ensure her safety during the move, Luis planned to use multiple decoy vehicles to confuse the hunters. Before departing, Katie received medical treatment for her back injury and had another heartfelt conversation with Noel. During their talk, Noel revealed that he was a former mercenary and had once worked alongside Luis. He admitted that their missions were often cruel and immoral, leading to the deaths of many innocent civilians. Katie was shocked by his honesty, and Noel confessed that he abandoned one mission midway, resulting in the deaths of all his teammates except Luis, who managed to survive. Feeling responsible for his team's demise, Noel founded his escort service to provide financial support to the families of his fallen comrades. Touched by Noel's generosity and regret, Katie shared her own tragic story. She explained that her father had forced her to work from the age of 8 to 18 to pay for her sick mother's medical bills. Despite their efforts, her mother passed away, leaving Katie with only $600. Determined to honor her mother's dying wish, Katie moved to the city to pursue a career in entertainment, hoping to turn her luck around. Shortly after, an employee directed Katie to a high-tech machine that disguised her as an elderly man by applying a realistic facial mask. Before departing for the bunker facility, Noel expressed his suspicions, noting that Luis's facility lacked a bunker despite the company's immense profits. After Katie changed into a new outfit, Noel concluded that Luis's true intention was to pretend to protect lottery winners, only to kill them when the opportunity arose. When Luis instructed Katie to enter a car, she insisted that Noel come along, but Luis firmly refused, citing security concerns. In a surprising turn, Katie kicked Luis in the groin, and Noel opened the garage door, allowing the lottery hunters to storm in and distract Luis's team. Noel used his unique pistol to incapacitate one of the guards and stole an access card. Meanwhile, Katie's disguise effectively fooled the hunters, enabling her to escape. Noel handed Katie the access card to unlock the facility's exit, but he was caught and held back by Luis, who began beating him. Katie managed to escape in one of the company's vehicles, removing her disguise as she drove away. However, Luis ordered his men to chase after her. On social media, content creators buzzed about Katie's survival, marveling at her resilience. Many speculated that she could win the lottery if she managed to survive until sunset. Fans of Katie began to emerge, expressing their hopes that she would make it through alive. A while later, Katie was close to leaving the city when Louise contacted her, threatening to kill Noel unless she turned back. Noel shouted through the call, urging Katie not to worry about him and to keep going. Despite his pleas, Katie couldn't bear the thought of losing Noel. In an unexpected move, she decided to comply with Louise's demands and agreed to meet him at a location he specified. Meanwhile, in an abandoned theater, Louise revealed that during his time working as a mercenary alongside Noel, he had always known their work was immoral. However, Louise didn't care because the money they earned was enormous. At one point, he even betrayed his own teammates, killing them when the opposing side offered him a lucrative deal. Hearing this, Noel felt a sense of relief, realizing his teammates' deaths were not his fault, though he remained furious at Louise's cruelty. 15 minutes before sunset, Katie arrived at the theater, grabbing a blunt pistol from the car before approaching Noel, who was handcuffed to a chair. To everyone's surprise, Katie announced that she intended to end her own life so no one would win the lottery prize. Louise, thinking it was a bluff, grew uneasy as Katie pressed the blunt pistol to her head, emphasizing that she was dead serious. Even when Louise mockingly invited her to pull the trigger and said he'd simply claimed to have killed her, Katie revealed she was live streaming the entire encounter on social media to ensure Louise wouldn't walk away as the winner. As Katie declared her life meaningless to anyone and prepared to pull the trigger, Louise panicked and handed over the handcuff key, pleading with her not to do it. Unexpectedly, Katie kicked him, revealing she had been acting all along to buy time. By then, the hunters watching her live stream had tracked her location and were rushing to the theater. With hunters flooding in from all directions, Katie scrambled to find another way out, but was forced back onto the stage. Out of nowhere, Louise tackled Katie and attempted to kill her with the blunt pistol. But his efforts were interrupted by police officers who also sought the lottery prize. As hunters swarmed the theater, Noel decided to hold them off, despite still being handcuffed to the chair. Singing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song to distract them, Noel endured as the chair eventually broke apart. However, he still struggled to help Katie due to the cuffs. Luckily, Katie bit Louise's hand, grabbed the key and freed Noel. Once free, Noel leaped into action to fight Louise, while Katie faced off against Shadi, who appeared wielding a katana. Fortunately, Katie managed to disarm Shadi and defeat her with a headbutt. With only 4 minutes left until sunset, more hunters began pouring into the theater. Noel instructed Katie to climb up onto the stage decorations to stay safe. While Noel continued to battle Louise with whatever he could find, an elderly woman from earlier managed to climb up and grab Katie's leg. Katie managed to shake her off, and Noel quickly blocked the access point to prevent others from climbing up. Despite Noel's efforts, Louise climbed the decorations with the help of his men and attempted to kill Katie. Using her wit, Katie activated a grenade hidden in Louise's pocket, causing him to explode instantly. Exhausted and unable to hold on any longer, Katie fell but was saved by her fans, who had gathered below with a massive banner to catch her. Just as this happened, the sun set, officially marking Katie as the lottery winner. Noel embraced her with joy, and Katie promised to give him half of her winnings. Lottery officials arrived shortly after to officially declare Katie the winner. 6 months later, Katie and Noel co-founded a free escort service and launched several unique ventures, including a martial arts school specializing in film choreography and a home for children with toxic parents. Meanwhile, Noel opened a Ninja Turtles-themed pizza shop, but had to shut it down on the first day due to copyright infringement fines. Despite this setback, the two were happy and content, enjoying their wealth while relaxing on a luxurious yacht. And that's it for the story series of this film. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to support this channel by subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. Goodbye.